What can I expect to happen along the way?
Well, right at the outset, a case gets allocated to an individual specialist clinical negligence lawyer who will deal with that case throughout and will deal with every aspect of it. With Gadsby Wicks, it's very much a personal service. We don't work in teams. A client doesn't have their case allocated to a whole bunch of people. It's allocated to one lawyer who will deal with that case throughout, who will deal with all of those questions that arise inevitably as the case goes on, and will always be there to deal with anything that arises and to answer the client's questions. To begin with, we have to carry out a detailed investigation of all that happened. So we ask the client to come in and meet with us, and that's very important. We don't deal just by questionnaire. We like to meet a client face to face, either in the office or at the client's home, if that's more convenient, so that we can understand exactly what happened from the client's point of view. We then have to get a complete copy of the client's medical records, including any x-rays and any scans that they've had done. And then the next thing, and this is the most important thing, we send all of that evidence to an independent consultant in the relevant medical specialty who can give us an opinion on the standard of the medical treatment that was received and can tell us whether there's any aspect of that treatment that fell below the minimum standard, and can tell us the extent of the injury that has been suffered as a result of any failings in the care.
How long does this all take?
It's a lengthy process, absolutely. It can take 12 to 18 months to investigate a case. And most cases are settled, but if a case has to go all the way to trial, it can take a number of years. But I can guarantee that we push on with the case as quickly and efficiently as we can, consistent with getting the best result for the client. Undoubtedly, it can be a very stressful process for an individual who has already gone through the trauma of a medical accident. What we try to do is to make the process as stress-free as possible. We're specialists, and our job is to guide the individual client through the process and to remove as much of the stress as we can. It's always possible that a case may go to court. The vast majority don't. Most cases are settled without the necessity for a full court hearing. But if the case does go to court, we will make sure that the client is fully prepared and can understand what that process will involve and what they'll have to do.
So why should I come to Gadsby Wicks?
It's certainly true that in recent years, a lot of solicitors who in the past have dealt mainly with road traffic and other personal injury cases have become much more interested in dealing with clinical negligence work and are advertising to try and attract clients.
And if my claim has been turned away by other firms?
Well, we have a claims assessment service, so that we are quite happy to look at cases that other solicitors have turned down, maybe because the case is too complicated or maybe there's difficulties with funding. But our expertise enables us to look at those cases and advise whether or not, in actual fact, there is a case that can be pursued.